Hey folks, Prepper Princess. So today I wanted to talk to you about how you can get things for free, not pay for them, but still get sort of almost the same as you had when you paid for it. I don't know how to title this video. I'm gonna figure it out later. But okay, so when people are going on an extreme budget, they go over their bills, they go over their finances, and they find what are the biggest things that I can cut in order to save money. Of course, the big thing is food, and I have tons of videos on my channel about cheap meals, $1 meals, poor man's meals, and I'll continue to make those in the future. But for right now, I'm in a house that doesn't really have anything in it, including stuff to cook with. So, first thing I want to talk about is cable. So when it comes to cable, a lot of people are going to say, okay, we're cutting the cable is gone, and that's going to save you a lot of money, okay? But there are different ways that you can get cable for very, very cheap or a lot cheaper or for free. Most people think of Amazon Prime, Netflix, Hulu, things like that. Those are pay services. And they're not really that expensive. They're gonna cost you between $10 and $15 a month, which is a really good deal. If you are a cable junkie and you want live TV, but you just want less channels, I would highly recommend Sling TV. However, Sling TV, when I originally started promoting it, was only $15. They have doubled their prices and they're now up to $30 a month. It's right at the brink of where I'm ready to cancel. If they go any higher, I will definitely cancel. But for now, $30 for my cable and $40 for my internet is well within my budget. So I wanted to talk to you guys specifically today about the Roku box. So I was telling people that when I move, I'm gonna be canceling cable. I don't have cable, but I'd be canceling my Sling TV because I don't even know if they get it there or how it works. Or I might downgrade, not sure. And people said, go get an antenna. And I was like, that's a really good idea. But I've tried the antenna in the past. And yes, you get channels. The problem is that it's based on your location and what channels you can get based on where you are. So it's all done through airwaves and crazy kooky science. So it really depends on where you live, and where I live here, the only thing you can get in English with an antenna is PBS. Everything else is Spanish or Chinese. And there's not even any local stations that you can get with an antenna where I am now. So if it's the same thing there, I don't want to spend $30 to get one channel that I don't even like. So what I did a long time ago through the advice of my neighbor is I got a Roku box. There's like Amazon Fire Sticks, Roku boxes, stuff like that. But in my opinion, this is way better than an antenna. So when you get this little Roku box, and I've had to replace this remote like 5 times because Rocky just loves eating them. But I checked out my box and I have a Roku 2. These run you, an antenna is gonna run you about 20 to 30 bucks. A Roku is gonna run you, there's different options, anywhere from $25 to like $80. Mine, the Roku 2, I couldn't find because I think it's an outdated model, but I would recommend just getting, even the cheapest one is gonna do you just fine. No problem. Roku Express is right now $24. There's a Roku Premier for $29, and then it gets into the higher ones for like $39 and $49. I don't have one of the expensive ones. I've got one of the cheap ones, so mine works great. So what it is it's this little box, and then you go on your TV, you push the input button, you put the box, it's a very small box, by the way, it's like this big, and it just connects to an HDMI cable to your TV, and then you go to your inputs, and then you go and check out the Roku. When you purchase the Roku box, there's these little pictures on the box that say like Netflix, Showtime, HBO, and stuff like that. And those are, when you upload the Roku, those are automatically in there. But as time goes by, it doesn't even have to be as time goes by if you're pretty technologically inclined, but I'm not. They'll say, do you want to download this? I just say yes to everything, right? Because it's all free TV, free. So the ones that I've got on my box right now are, okay, there's a long list, but I've got Crackle. It's all free TV and movies. So Crackle is free TV and movies. Right now, I was just watching Battlefield Earth with John Travolta, don't judge me. And now I'm watching Explorers from the 1980s with Ethan Hawke. It's the one where the kids travel through space because that was big in the 80s. There is FilmRise. So FilmRise has like a million. It's not just FilmRise. It's like FilmRise action, FilmRise thriller, FilmRise horror, FilmRise suspense, FilmRise mystery. So there's a ton of different ones. There's FilmRise Family, which A Home of Our Own is on, and I keep going back to that. I just keep watching it because I am totally Kathy Bates's character, but without the kids. But FilmRise is a really good one. Pluto TV. So Pluto TV is live TV. I'm gonna admit that the channels kind of suck, but it has Degrassi. So if you have teenagers, it might work for that. Tubi, T-U-B-I, that is free movies and TV, pretty average. The movies, when you're looking at the movies on these, it's not gonna be like blockbuster movies like there are on Netflix. These are pretty much unknown. Like Tubi, I think I saw like Anaconda 3 the other day. And you know how Anaconda, the first one was, you know, and then you've got the second and the third. It's like Tremors, it like never stops. Remember the movie Tremors? The first one was good and after that they all sucked. But I happen to like cheesy, crappy movies. I know it's really weird, but I like B and C movies. You've got free flicks, free movies and TV. Popcorn flicks, free movies and TV. Something called Fossum, or Favesome. I couldn't tell if it was a V or a W. TVs and movie, right there, all free. You also get the CW network. So CW, it has some good stuff for teenagers. Like it's pretty teenage directed CW, I think. So if you've got teenagers, that's a good one. It does have the NFL network, not live NFL, but it's like replays and stuff. I don't watch sports, I apologize, but some people are crazy about sports. Like seriously, they're nuts. Crazy. NFL network. There's the Roku channel. That's got some pretty decent movies. I just watched Passion of the Christ on that one. Groker. I'm not that familiar with Groker. They have a lot of horror movies on that. I think I saw The Exorcism of Emily Rose a few days ago on Groker. But the Roku box would be the number one thing to go for, like free cable. It's pretty much free. It's free cable. It's like just like getting an antenna, but you have just like thousands. Instead of just a few local stations and like a few network stations, you've got thousands of movies. Or, you know, you could go with both. Even if you bought both, a $30 antenna and a $30 Roku box, that's $60. And if you're paying $150 a month for cable, you know, you make your money back in the first month. So that's one of them. When it comes to saving money in the household, cleaning products. So I've tried pretty much every cleaning product on earth. I've found three that I like. So the first one is Simple Green. You can get Simple Green pretty much anywhere, but it always comes super ultra uber concentrated, and you add water. It gets rid of grease stains, amazing. Cleans the oven, amazing. Great job. For bathrooms and tiles and toilets, Comet. It's like 87 cents at Walmart. It's always on the bottom shelf. And if they don't have Comet, Ajax is good. It's a powder. The Comet's a green powder, and you put it in your bathtub. Gets rid of all the grime and all the rings, the dirt rings. Also works really great in the toilet, sinks, everything. So Comet's amazing. And I hate to say it, but nothing really beats Windex when it comes to washing windows. Windex, and I hate to say paper towels. You can use old newspapers, but don't use newspapers that have any color in them. But color, you know, just use the black and white newspapers, but those are hard to find these days because they don't really print that many newspapers. We get a lot of ads in the mail, but those have lots of colors in them and those leave streaks. But if you can't afford paper towels, go with the newspaper. When it comes to other stuff like laundry soap, right? A lot of people use like Tide and Gain, and those are so expensive. So Walmart has the Walmart brand stuff of like Gain and Tide, and those worked pretty good. You can also go to the, I don't want to say Mexican section, but the Spanish-ish cleaning soap section. And they have like this one with a seal on it. They've got one that's like a purple package. I think it looks like Fabuloso, but I'm not sure. But those are really very inexpensive, like $2 or $3. And then you've got what I do for most of my stuff, but I'm not really big. Like I don't get like really grimy or anything like that. But I make my own laundry soap, and I use it using 1 cup of borax, 1 cup washing soda, and 1 bar of either Zote or Felsnap the soap. I put them into a 5-gallon bucket, add hot water, stir it, and then I've got 5 gallons of laundry soap that lasts me a little over a year. Another thing that a lot of people don't consider is, okay, so when you have a Tide bottle or a Gain bottle, please read the instructions. People get that cap and they fill that cap up to the brim and dump it into their laundry. You're not supposed to fill the cap up to the brim. That is a marketing gimmick. So they'll take the cap and there's these little lines that say, like, full load, half load, soiled, not soiled, stuff like that. And there's these little tiny things that you can barely see on the cap. The cap's this big, but the line only goes up to here. What? Just use a half a capful or a quarter of a capful. Just don't use the whole capful, and it'll last you twice as long. Look at that. You just saved 50% by not using a full capful. Another thing is adding water to everything. I add water to my Simple Green, to my Windex. I add it to my liquid foundation that I get at the dollar store. So I get like quite a big discount. Think of how much of a discount you get. If you get a dollar bottle of soap, I use VO5 or shampoo. You guys have seen my VO5, my dollar store beauty products video. But VO5 for 87 cents, right? And then I'll use it a couple times and then I'll water it down. And I end up watering it down by about 20%. And if I'm only paying 87 cents for shampoo and then I'm adding 20% water, I just saved 20% off of that 87 cents. I know it sounds ridiculous. I know it sounds stupid, but it cleans my hair just as good. And it really is a way to give yourself 10% off, 20% off. Every time you go to the register, just think that's 20% off, 25% off, 30% off, and you have to tinker with it a little bit. So you start with 5 or 10% and then you work your way up until you've got kind of lost your comfort level with adding water, or you find that the product doesn't work as well. But in 100% of the cases, I have found that the product works just as well by adding at least 20% water. There you go. So it makes your products last longer and it gives you a huge discount up at the cash register. And then let's see, I'm trying to think. Okay, so electricity. So electricity is a really big thing. We all live in different climates and it's all very different depending on our location. So if you have a fireplace, okay, you can purchase wood. That's no big deal. You can look on Craigslist for free wood. I've done that too. I made a video for you guys. You can also forage for wood. And I don't want to say like go out into the wilderness and forage, I'm just saying if you go for a walk and you see a twig that's going to work out, just pick it up and bring it home. And this is how I've pretty much supplied all of my firewood for about the last 5 or 6 years. I have a wood burning stove that I plan on installing in my new house. And that's going to make it so that I don't need a heater, but my wood burning stove also has cooking on the top. So it'll serve a dual purpose. I very rarely make a purchase unless it serves more than one purpose. So my wood burning stove will heat the house for free because firewood where I'm going is not difficult to find, even though it's the desert. I've been looking and yeah, you can find it just about anywhere. So I'll have free fuel, I'll have free heat for the house, and I'll have a free way to cook. So I can cook on top while I'm getting the house warm with the free firewood that I've collected. That's like 3 for 3. That's awesome, right? When it comes to clothing, so a lot of people are into fashion. I've never been into fashion. I always think that the most beautiful thing you can have on your face is a smile. Or maybe, do your hair, use some hairspray, dollar hairspray from the dollar store, and, do your hair up good and put on your nice makeup. Make yourself presentable, but the clothing shouldn't matter as long as it's well cared for. I would say about 90 to 95% of the clothes I got at a thrift store. The other 5%, sometimes I find it difficult to find pants that fit me because I don't want to say I have a weird body type, but I'm just taller than most people. So after a wash or two, I get high waters. Like my pants just come up and it's down at the ankle and then I look like weird. So it's hard for me to find pants at a thrift store that will fit me properly. So sometimes I'll get my pants at Target or at Walmart. They're not expensive. I used to get American Eagle, but their prices skyrocketed and I said, okay, time to go with a lower cost option. So those are things that are really important. And then when it comes to entertainment, so I grew up in a fairly poor family. Single mother, no child support, trying to make it. And some of the best memories I have are just with water balloons and frisbees at the park. So you don't have to spend a ton of money to go and entertain your children. If you want to spend time with your kids, pack a picnic. Okay, bring some extra bread, because, you know, go to a pond where you can feed ducks, because feeding ducks is fun for kids, and they get chased, and it's really funny when they get scared. Anyway, so you know, go to a local place that has a pond or a local park that has some shade. Pack yourself a picnic, bring a frisbee and some water balloons, and I swear your kids are going to be like having fun for like 3 or 4 hours without. They don't even need parental supervision, because they're going to be so worn out by the end of the day that you know, you put them in their car seat and they are just out like a light. So those are some of the tips that I've got for you today. I'm sorry if this video got to be too long, but I am, you know, I do recommend the Roku, and I recommend the products that I use, like the Comet, the Windex, and the Simple Green. If you guys have any tips and tricks, leave them in the comment section below, because I would like to try some new products, see if maybe you guys have something better or whatever. Do what you can with what you got. Prepper Princess out. Is Mr. Rocky Pants tired? Look at those red eyes. Look at those red eyes. Who's my boy? Oh, yes. It's nap time. Yes, my boy. Oh, Mommy loves you. Mommy loves you. I love you, mister. Oh, here you go. There you go. Yes. Yes. Oh, my sweet boy. You're so cute. You're so cute. You're so cute. We had a long walk today, didn't we? Yes, we did. My boy.